This is not the real world. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just wearing a leather jacket. We're talking about a book today. I know it's crazy. We're doing Tim Akers' Night Watch. Why? Because it's still May the 6th here, and this is supposed to be coming out on May the 7th. What is coming out on May the 7th is The Eccentrics. We will also be doing this matcha green tea oat milk latte. I don't know what to expect from this. I like matcha, but we're going to be doing this, and we're doing this. Let's get into it. Without further ado, let's sip a beverage and get into a book. Okay, so I have drank one of these pop-in bottles before, this brand, and I liked it, if I remember. So there is mushroom in here, which is upsetting because the whole thing about the mushroom drinks being better than coffee. I don't drink coffee because it's good for me. I drink it because I'm addicted. I don't want to be healthier. I want to be filled with 300 milligrams of caffeine. So I don't really want mushrooms. That's why the whole mushroom coffee thing upsets me, but whatever, we're gonna do it. So usually the mushroom coffees do taste good, but you taste the mushroom. There's in the new wave of mushroom drinks, there isn't much room for error. And I've drinking a decent mushroom drink, and this is not it. Okay, so the matcha flavor comes out, but the thing is, matcha already has a bit of a deep flavor sometimes. It's kind of like has a little bit of a deep flavor, and the mushrooms give it a little bit of a deep flavor. So you're going into a territory which kind of tastes a little dirty. You're just drinking dirt. Let's get into the book. The main character, John Rast, he is a college kid and he likes going to the Renaissance Fair. And he doesn't really have a lot going for him except the fact that he's really good with a sword. So he gets into these sort of mock battles in the arena so everyone can see. It's fun for everyone, including him. But his life is kind of falling apart. He ends up going to pick up his best friend Eric on the way to the Renaissance Fair, and who is there is his ex-girlfriend Chessa, which leaves some questions like what were they doing together. And so throughout the book you're still kind of exploring what our main character's relationship is with his ex and what his best friend's relationship is or was with this ex. And I think that's a really interesting matchup with it, because there is some romantic tension that goes on as you start to push forward into your actual plot here. What happens at the Renaissance Fair is that our main character, John Rast, gets teamed up with this jerk lawyer that he gets in the arena, starts fighting with John, but then he starts transforming into an actual dragon. And it is obviously very shocking, and John does as best as he could to fight this big monster in front of him now, but it's not really enough. So he starts running away, and what he gets into is his mom's Volvo, and the Volvo, now he gets the idea, what if I just drive straight into the dragon with the car? So, being that he has this heroic spirit, he goes and drives his mom's car into the dragon. Well, lo and behold, it works and the dragon's dead, but there is a group of these fantastical beings. One looks like a mage, one looks like a knight, and they're just sitting around looking at him like, okay, what do we do now? A normal kid should not be able to kill a dragon. So they kind of, a la Men in Black, which is actually referenced here, Men in Black at the Ren Fair, a la Men in Black, they kind of steal him away and take him to their headquarters, where they're like, you know, we're going to cover it up, we're going to say there was a dragon float, and kind of like make everybody forget all about this event and cover up with the papers. You know, sometimes there is magical sort of uncommon things that spill over into our reality, our world, like you and me, into the real world. And for them, they go to a headquarters where he starts getting briefed on what they are. These are sort of, they're heroes. And so they come from mythical sort of backgrounds, or they have their own They have their own mythologies behind all these characters, such as the knight comes from a realm with a castle, and the mage that we have comes from his own dimension. You have an angel, actually it's Saint Matthew, and he comes from from an angelic domain. So they all have their own sort of, I would like to say, worlds that they live in, but the headquarters, called Mundane Actual, is where they all kind of meet up at, and they do their briefs about what is the new threat that's in the real world and what do we have to take down today. A dragon is a big deal, so this kid shouldn't have been able to do that, but ultimately the main sort of lady in charge of the team, Esther, eventually looks at this kid John and says, "Do you want the job?" And he's like, "The job?" And he's like, "Do you want to be a hero? Do you want to be on our team?" And who is with him, alongside of him, who saw the whole dragon event, is Chessa, his ex-girlfriend. So now they're trying to discover what this world is about in a very funny way, because the character John, he's very awkward funny, and he knows he's awkward, but he is a super sarcastic, smart aleck sort of character, filled with cussing and weird ways he views things, and there is never a dull moment in this book. I would say in every chapter there was something that made me laugh out loud, which is hard to do, to actually laugh out loud from a book, but it does. This is actually, if I had to think of when was the last time I've read something this funny, I don't think I could, or I don't know if I have. That's something very unique in that I did not know Tim Akers were so funny. I enjoyed Wraithbound, and it was funny at times, but it was nothing like this. And the only thing that I can compare it to, and ironically it's on my shelf, is something like a Brandon Sanderson Steelheart, because that's the only one of this series I've finished. And the main character in Steelheart, he's also awkward funny, and he's also unique and kind of sarcastic at times. But the thing is, I feel like there are things that Brandon Sanderson does better, but he doesn't do comedy better. So this was super refreshing, because this was so funny. It was nonstop funny. Sometimes it's very kind of, sometimes it's very farcical, slapstick in a way, but it still did a really good job in conveying that this place that they're in is just absolutely silly, doesn't make a lot of sense. At some point they're in a boat made out of toenails. How, right? But it just goes to show you how imaginative this work was. I think it was super colorful in that way, in a way that a lot of modern fantasy really isn't. He takes fantasy and really just kind of turns it up a notch, because there's a lot of strange elements, especially the janitors, who I will not spoil why they're so interesting. So I think that they were my favorite characters, actually, were the janitors. This was an excellent book, and this is something I'd like to see a lot more of. So, I hate doing star ratings, but I still give this book a 5-star, because this is a book that I'm actually going to give to my nephew. I know he is going to love it, because he is 15, and he is just getting into this sort of thing, these types of books, and he will be laughing the whole time through. This is an abomination. Do not like, do not buy, throw it away. This was really, really bad. Do not, matcha green tea, oat milk latte. You could taste the mushroom. You could taste the dirt. Oh, wow. Oh, my. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a very good week.